are key signatures? You may be asking that every time you look at a piece of music. You see those funky, what you hip young folks like to call hashtags, but they're actually came first in music, and they're called sharps. And they also have flats in a key signature, so you can both have sharps and flats in a key signature. A piece of music can have a feeling or a mood in it, and if we can use many different styles of expression to get a mood across, but we also can use a key signature, which tells us how high or how low something is, and how it makes it sound. A key signature is a device that contains sharps or flats. Sharps, and it tells us, also it can tell us what is the scale, what the scale of the song is. Is it minor, is it major, is it a different mode, mixed Lydian, blah, 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 Lydian. You've talked about those things in the past. And it also tells us most likely what note the piece is going to start on. Key signatures will always come at the beginning of the piece. You'll never see it at the end. You'll see it at the beginning. Sometimes you'll see it in the middle if the song's key signature changes. Key signatures tells us what notes in the piece are either sharp or flat. And the order of sharps and flats are always the same. They don't change. The way you see them in a piece, they are always the same. And something really interesting is this, that the order of sharps, fuzzy cats are F, C, G, D, A, B, is the same as the flats backwards. So if you turn the sharps order backwards, you get the same order of flats. B, E, A, D, G, C, F. Cut. Why? Action. Why key signatures, do you ask? We need key signatures to tell us if we're in major or minor. And we need the key signatures because it tells us so much crucial information. Like I said before, it tells us what we need to use when it comes to what notes are sharp, what notes are flat. And it also avoids us using accidentals. If we were to write a song, let's say in the key of D major, which has two sharps, we would have to, as we're writing the song, each time you write that note, you would have to write a sharp. Every time you'd have to write a sharp. Every time you write a C, you'd have to have a sharp. Every time you had an F, you'd have to add a sharp. But with the key signature telling us that there are two sharps in the key signature, we don't have to worry about writing those in unless we have to add accidentals, which will be something in a different video. Now we're going to talk about the key signatures both in flats and in sharps. But first we're going to start with flats. So to remember the order of flats, we're going to use a mnemonic device. A mnemonic device is some way to remember something by using letters and adding words to them to remember how things go in order. So to learn the order of flats, you use this mnemonic device. Bead greatest common factor. So it's B-E-A-D G-C-F. Bead greatest common factor. So this is the order of flats. B-E-A-D G-C-F. You can see it here on the treble clef. B-E-A-D G-C-F. Also, you can see it in bass clef. B-E-A-D G-C-F. And the F is below the line in the bass clef. All right, now to find out how to figure out the key signature, we need rules to figure out what the key signature is. So in flats, there are two rules. And when we get to sharps, there's another rule. But in flats, there are two rules. The first rule is this. 1 flat is always the key of F, or F is do in this case, because in choir we like to find out where is do so we can sight read accurately. So when you see one flat in the key signature, it is always F. So memorize that and you'll be golden. Now, the second rule is this. The second to last flat, when there's more than two flats, is do. So second to last flat is do. Let's use our rules to figure out how we find the key signature, aka do, with flats. So we talked about the first rule here, one flat is always F. Now, let's figure out that. You see here there's only one flat in the key signature. So do would be this F here, or this F here. There's also the other F's outside of the staff, but I don't have any space to write the ledger lines. All right, now let's look at another flat key signature. Now, we're going to use the mnemonic device that we learned about earlier in this case. So remember, bead, greatest common factor, BEAD, GCF. We'll use that here. So we have to remember the order is bead, BEAD. So we have the first two letters of bead, B-E. Now, to find out do when there's more than two flats, the second to last flat is do, or that's the key signature. Okay? So we go to the second to last, which in this case is really easy, is this one right here. And that means we're in the key of B flat. So do is this note right here. It's also this note right there. So we have these two B flats, and then there's one up there. That's how we find out do with this one. Let's go on to another one. Let's add one more flat. So we're going to use bead, B-E-A-D, greatest common factor. So we have three flats. B, E, A. So what's the rule again? Second to last flat is do. So this is not the second to last flat. This is not the second to last flat because that's the farthest, that's the last flat. The second to last flat is this one right here. And do is E flat. Okay, so it would be this one, or this note right here, and it's farther out the staff when we get out there, but these are the easy ones to look at. One thing you have to remember when we're doing key signatures, especially with flats, we have to be able to distinguish between B flat, key of B flat, and the key of B. Because the key of B flat is two flats. If we had the key of B, that's 5 sharps. So we need to be able to distinguish between flats and sharps. We just looked at how to figure out flat key signatures. Now let's look at it a different way of how to construct flat key signatures backwards. So there's 3 rules when it comes to constructing flat key signatures. The first rule is, so you got to pick a key. So let's think about the key of, let's pick A flat. So we're going to construct the key signature of A flat. So we have to draw a staff first. So we've constructed the clef, and now let's pick A flat. So, to help us figure this out, we're looking for the key of A flat. Let's review our mnemonic device for flats. So it's B, so it's B, E, E, A, B, E, A, D, bead, greatest common factor, G, C, F, bead, greatest common factor. Now, we want the key of A flat. So, we're going to go here and find A, which is A flat. So, we have to remember, back from our rules, remember the second to last flat is Do. So, if we have B, E, and A, so we want E flat. So we get B, E, and A, but that's still not A flat. We have to add the one next to it. B, E, A, D. So I just wrote the key of A flat because the second to last flat is Do, and that's A flat. Let's construct one more. I want to construct the key of G flat. That's crazy. That's a lot of flats, isn't it? So let's put all of those up there. So B, E, A, D, G. But we're not quite finished yet. Remember, we have to always add the one to the left of it, which is the C flat. And that is the key of G flat. All right, now we just looked at flats, but we also have sharp keys. So we're going to learn about how to find the key signature in sharps. So just like flats, we have a mnemonic device for sharps. So the order of sharps is F, C, G, D, A, E, B. But if you remember from flats, and what I said at the beginning of the video, you have to remember that, but if you go backwards, it's the order of flats. Crazy. So, our mnemonic device to remember the order of sharps is F, C, G, D, A, E, B. If you need that mnemonic device, you can make up another one if you don't like the fuzzy cats get dirty after every bath. But that's a fun one, and I like to use that one. So this is the order of sharps: F, C, G, D, A, E, B. You can see it on the staff here in the treble clef. F, C, G, D, A, E, B. Fuzzy cats get dirty after every bath. And in this case, the sharps are before the key signature, because you'll never see key signatures on the other side of the time signature. Let's look at sharps in the bass clef. Just like in flats, you have to have the order correct. The fuzzy cats get dirty after every bath. Fuzzy cats get dirty after every bath. So if you use that mnemonic device correctly, you'll always remember the order of sharps. There's two rules in flats, but there's one rule in sharps, and the one rule is the farthest sharp to the right is T, or the 7th scale degree. So if we use the 7th scale degree, or T, to our advantage, we can find Do easy in sharps. So let's remember our mnemonic device. Fuzzy cats get dirty after every bath. So let's start with one sharp and figure out Do, or the key signature, from one sharp. So we have one sharp, and that's the farthest sharp to the right. If that's T, or the 7th scale degree, you go up a half step from F sharp. So we have F, up one from there is G. So that's the key of G. So we have this note. Well, this note is Do, and vice versa all around. Let's add another sharp to the key signature. Fuzzy cats. F and C, fuzzy cats. The farthest sharp to the right is C sharp. Up a half step from C sharp is D. So D is the key signature, or do. So it'd be this note or that note. Let's add another one. Fuzzy cats get. So we have 3 sharps now. Fuzzy cats get. Up a half step from G. So it'd be, if you would think about it up here, is A. So if you, but if you can't think of the ledger lines, go down the line of G. That's G sharp. Up one from there is A. So that's how you figure out what key signatures are using sharps, using the rule. The farthest sharp to the right is T, or the 7th scale degree. So now let's construct a key signature backwards. So let's say we're wanting to write a piece, and we're wanting to write the piece in A major. So let's review again the mnemonic device for the sharps. So we have fuzzy cats get dirty after every bath. Okay? So we're looking for the key of A. This is really easy because you have to remember the rule. The rules for sharp is to find do. The farthest sharp to the right is T, so it's 1 letter away from do, or for what the key we're looking for. So we're wanting to write this song, let's say it again in A major. So we know our alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it repeats itself. So if we want the key of A, what comes before A? G. So we need 3 sharps. Fuzzy cats get. Now we have our song. We're going to do it in A major. So we have 3 sharps. Farthest sharp to the right is 7th scale degree, or T. Go up from there. So that's G. Up one from G is A. Let's figure out one more. Let's say we wanted to figure out the key of E major. Okay, so this was A. Now we're looking for the key of E. So what is 1 letter before E? D. So we need 4 sharps. We need fuzzy cats get dirty after fuzzy cats get dirty. And we have to make sure we put them in the right order. So we have fuzzy cats get dirty. Fuzzy cats get dirty. So that's how we construct sharps in how we construct sharp key signatures. So the last key signature they're going to look at is the most easy key signature that we know of. I'm sure you've known this forever, especially if you've been in music for a long time, when there are no sharps or flats in the key signature. That is when cut. Action. Now, we're going to look at the easiest key signature of them all. One when there are no sharps or flats in the key signature. As you can see here, there's no sharps or flats before the time signature, because if you were seeing sharp keys or flat keys, it'd always be before the time signature. But when you see nothing there, we are in the key of C. So we would see C as do here, or middle C right here that we've talked about in the past as do. Very easy to remember when there are no sharps or flats. C is do. Thanks for watching the video on key signatures. Key signatures can be a very, very, very difficult topic. So if you have any questions, please see me or watch the video again. It's something that you might have to watch over and over again, which is just fine. You have to remember key signatures are important for so many reasons, especially in choir for sight reading. We need to use them when we're going to learn about scales and how to learn about minor keys also. You're going to, after you watch this video, there's a link and you're going to go to the Google form and do the review. You can watch the video along with the review and turn in your answers as soon as possible. Thank you.